Hi, this is Dale Bolton from Natural Calm Canada, where we're discussing magnesium, the missing mineral. Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest paradoxes in health and nutrition in North America, that being bone density. And the paradox is that even though North Americans will consume the most calcium in the world and consume the most dairy in the world, they still have the biggest bone density problem. So there's something wrong. Conversely, the poorest countries in the world have stronger bones and teeth than we do. They never drink dairy. They have never seen a calcium supplement. They have very little meat. But they eat primarily a plant-based diet. And in soils that aren't depleted, there's a 2-to-1 ratio in all plant-based foods. Dr. Carolyn Dean, the award-winning author, has said that the average North American will actually have 10 times as much calcium as magnesium. And what happens is you'll find that dairy has 10 times as much calcium, meat has 5 times as much calcium as magnesium, and a lot of our foods are fortified with calcium. So it's not hard today to get 10 times as much calcium in our overall diet. Last year, there was actually 20 times as much calcium sold in supplement form compared to magnesium. The other major problem today is what we call the acid-alkaline food balance. In North America, a high percentage of our diet is meats and sweets and dairy. All of them are acidic. Again, plant-based foods is alkaline. And the interesting thing that happens in our body, as soon as we eat anything acidic, our body actually freaks out. It looks at it and it says, the blood has to be pH balanced in order for us to live and carry oxygen. And so it looks for things to neutralize the acidity. What happens is that all minerals are alkaline, and so when we have 40% of our diet consisting of acid-producing substances like meat, sweets, and dairy, and refined foods, then what will happen is that we begin to utilize these minerals for the things they weren't intended to. See, 100 years ago, the average person would have 500 milligrams of calcium naturally in their diet and 500 milligrams of magnesium naturally in their diet. Today they estimate we get 12 to 1500 milligrams of calcium in our overall diet and 150 to 200 milligrams of magnesium. And so what happens in that huge imbalance I should say, magnesium is so diluted it really can't do anything. Now, interestingly enough, as we get older, the weakest bone in our body is our hips. It's a different bone matrix than any other bone in our body, and it actually requires twice as much magnesium as any other bone in our body. So Canada, US, Finland, and Netherlands are all high calcium, low magnesium countries, and they have the worst bones in the world. Meanwhile, Japan has a high magnesium, low calcium diet, and they have much stronger bones than we do. You'll see today when there are the imbalance of high amounts of calcium and low amounts of magnesium, we'll actually see calcium deposits all through our body. So magnesium is critical for bone density, not only to neutralize the acidity, but it also helps activate vitamin D, which is a critical part of bone formation. It activates different hormones in our body, which are critical for bone formation. It activates 325 enzymes, which are super important for a whole ream of different things, but one of them being bone density. Interestingly enough, when they dig up bones that are 100 years old, they actually find twice as much magnesium as they do today, which means 100 years ago it was naturally in our food. Our bones were very strong, and bone density wasn't a problem back then. And so we strongly encourage people to look at their diet. It should be 10% meat, sweets, and dairy, very little processed foods, and 90% plant-based foods. And look at really supplementing your diet with a product like Natural Calm, which is a magnesium supplement, highly absorbable magnesium supplement, and also Natural Calm plus calcium. They're a powder, they dissolve in warm water, and they're highly absorbable, taste great. They're in raspberry, orange, lemon, and plain. And pills, whether they're calcium or magnesium, are hard to absorb. Liquid magnesium is very expensive, whereas Natural Calm, be it Natural Calm plus calcium or Natural Calm, is highly absorbable and very fast acting. And so do yourself a favor and look at the facts. We have great handouts on our website that talk about how it's easy to build bones. The medications and the prescriptions they're having today actually can have some very serious long-term side effects. So diet is huge, and adding the key things like magnesium and calcium in the right balance. Have a great day.